It began with a silence that felt unnatural for Damascus. The city, accustomed to tension, had settled into a fragile calm. But at 2:43 a.m., that calm shattered. A thunderous roar tore through the night sky as Israeli fighter jets streaked overhead, targeting the heart of Syria's military infrastructure. The Israeli army had launched a coordinated strike on Syria's defense ministry headquarters, located just blocks from the presidential palace. Within seconds, the building, once a symbol of Syrian military command, was reduced to rubble. Surveillance footage captured the moment of impact, a blinding flash, followed by a mushroom of debris and fire. Syrian state media confirmed the attack, reporting 3 dead and 34 wounded. But the real shock came hours later, when satellite images revealed the extent of the damage. The headquarters wasn't just hit, it was obliterated. Walls collapsed inward, command centers vaporized, and communication towers twisted like wire. This wasn't a warning shot, it was a message. Israel's military spokesperson stated the strike was in response to Syrian aggression in Ceuta, where clashes had intensified. But analysts saw something deeper, a shift in Israel's strategy from containment to decapitation. The destruction of the headquarters wasn't just tactical, it was psychological. It told Syria and the region that Israel would no longer play defense. It would dismantle threats at their source. And for the civilians of Damascus, it was a terrifying reminder that war doesn't knock. It breaks down doors. As dawn broke over the city, smoke still curled from the ruins. Ambulances weaved through shattered streets. And somewhere beneath the rubble, the nerve center of Syria's military lay silent. The aftermath was immediate and chaotic. Syrian emergency crews rushed to the scene, navigating collapsed roads and unstable debris. The defense ministry building, once fortified against siege, had become a tomb. Rescue workers pulled survivors from the wreckage, their faces coated in dust and blood. The air reeked of burning electronics and concrete. Inside what remained of the command center, shattered monitors blinked with static. Maps of southern Syria lay torn and scattered. The strike had not only destroyed infrastructure, it had severed Syria's ability to coordinate its forces. Military analysts noted that the headquarters housed critical communication systems linking Damascus to Ceuta and Dara. With those systems offline, Syrian units were effectively blind. Israel's timing was surgical. Just days earlier, Syria had begun withdrawing troops from Ceuta under international pressure. The headquarters strike crippled their ability to manage that retreat. In Tel Aviv, Israeli officials framed the operation as a preemptive measure. "We will not allow hostile forces to regroup," one senior official said. But in Damascus, the narrative was different. Syrian state television aired footage of wounded civilians and condemned the attack as a violation of sovereignty. The international community responded with urgency. The UN called for restraint, while the US acknowledged Israel's right to self-defense but urged de-escalation. Yet behind closed doors, diplomats scrambled to understand the implications. This wasn't a border skirmish, it was a direct hit on a capital city's military brain. And it raised a chilling question. If headquarters can be leveled in minutes, what's next? For Syrians, the fear wasn't just of more strikes. It was of total collapse. The headquarters had been a symbol of control. Its destruction hinted at a future where control was slipping away. In the days that followed, Damascus was a city on edge. Military checkpoints multiplied. Soldiers patrolled neighborhoods with rifles drawn. The government declared a state of emergency, fearing further Israeli incursions. But the psychological toll ran deeper than policy. For many Syrians, the headquarters strike felt like a turning point, a moment when the war crossed a line. "We've seen airstrikes before," said one resident, "but never like this, never so close." The building had stood for decades, a relic of Syria's Cold War alliances and its long-standing military doctrine. Its destruction wasn't just tactical, it was symbolic. It marked the unraveling of a military legacy. Syrian generals, once confident in their fortified command centers, now operated from undisclosed locations. Rumors swirled of mobile command units and underground bunkers. But even those felt vulnerable. Israel's intelligence capabilities had proven precise and unforgiving. Meanwhile, in Israel, the mood was resolute. The government released aerial footage of the strike, showcasing the precision of its F-35 jets. Military commentators praised the operation as a masterclass in modern warfare. But critics warned of escalation. "This kind of strike invites retaliation," said one analyst. And retaliation came swiftly. Syrian forces launched missiles toward the Golan Heights, triggering Israeli air defenses. Though intercepted, the exchange signaled a dangerous tit-for-tat dynamic. Civilians on both sides braced for more. In border towns, families stocked shelters. Schools closed. The air buzzed with drones. And amid the tension, one truth became clear. The destruction of the headquarters had changed the rules. It wasn't just a military loss. It was a psychological rupture. The idea that command centers were safe had vanished. And in its place, a new reality emerged. One where war could reach anywhere, anytime. International reaction was swift and divided. Western powers expressed concern over the escalation, while regional actors took sides. Iran condemned the Israeli strike, calling it an act of aggression against a sovereign nation. Saudi Arabia, meanwhile, remained silent, signaling a cautious neutrality. Russia, with its vested interests in Syria, issued a statement urging restraint but stopped short of condemning Israel. The geopolitical chessboard was shifting. The destruction of Syria's military headquarters wasn't just a battlefield event. It was a diplomatic tremor.
In Geneva, un envase convened emergency sessions.
Humanitarian agencies warned of displacement, especially in southern Syria, where fighting had intensified. But behind the scenes, intelligence agencies dissected the strike. How had Israel penetrated Damascus's air defenses? What technologies were used? And what did it mean for future conflicts? The answers pointed to a new era of warfare, one defined by stealth, speed, and surgical precision. Israel's use of AI-assisted targeting and satellite coordination had redefined what was possible. No longer were capital cities immune. No longer were headquarters safe. For Syria, the implications were dire. Rebuilding the defense ministry would take months, if not years. In the meantime, command structures would remain fragmented. For Israel, the strike was a message to adversaries: deterrence through dominance. But for civilians, it was a nightmare. In Damascus, families mourned. Streets once bustling with life now echoed with sirens. And amid the rubble, a question lingered. Who would rebuild? Not just the building, but the confidence, the security, the belief that war had boundaries. Because when headquarters fall, so do illusions. And in their place, fear takes root. The final chapter of this strike is still unwritten, but its impact is already etched into the psyche of the region. In Syria, military doctrine is being rewritten. Generals now speak of decentralization, of mobile units and encrypted networks. The age of fortress command centers is over. In Israel, the success of the operation has emboldened policymakers. Discussions of future strikes, perhaps deeper into Syrian territory, are no longer hypothetical. But with every move comes risk. The international community watches closely, wary of a spiral. For civilians, the war is no longer distant. It's in their neighborhoods, their skies, their nightmares. Children in Damascus draw pictures of jets and rubble. Parents whisper evacuation plans. And in border towns, sirens are the soundtrack of daily life. Yet amid the fear, resilience emerges. Syrians clear debris, reopen shops, and rebuild. Israeli families gather in shelters, sharing stories and hope. The strike may have destroyed a building, but it also revealed something deeper: the fragility of power, the unpredictability of conflict, and the human cost of war. As diplomats negotiate and armies reposition, one truth remains. The destruction of the Israeli army headquarters in Damascus was not just a military event. It was a turning point, a moment when the rules changed, when war became personal, and when the world was reminded that, in the age of precision strikes, no place is truly safe. The rubble may be cleared, the walls may be rebuilt, but the memory will linger. In every siren, every shadow, every silence that feels too quiet.